Good evening and welcome back, all you fellow Diablo fans. It's time again for another episode of Westmarch Workshop. On tonight's episode, we have, of course, more 2.3. So we're just going to keep building on the season patch hype. We're absolutely pumped for season 4 and everything that's going to come with it. So yeah, that's exactly what we're going to do tonight. We're going to talk about our season 4 plans, what we're rolling, our goals, and all that good stuff. So it's going to be a fun episode. So you guys all know who I am. At least I hope you do. I am Lieutenant Lunatic, and I apologize. I've been gone for a short time, but I'm back. So joining me tonight, as always, is our other co-host, Mr. Nineball.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
Oh, hi.
That's how you always answer Skype, too. And I always appreciate it because it never falters. It's always, oh, hi.
To make it easier, that's also how I answer my phone if you were to ever call me.
I could picture that. Do you do that to your grandma?
No. Not anymore.
Oh, sorry.
But if she ever called me, that would be very weird.
Do you do it to, I don't know.
Do you know where you're going with this?
No, because I didn't know, I don't know all the personal histories, so I was like, I could just hit a touchy subject, so I'm just not going to.
Uh-huh.
But, yeah, so...
we're still recording right now. We haven't dropped anything, but just to let you know, we're not live on Twitch yet.
That's okay.
Yeah, we can keep going.
Okay.
We're
gonna keep going.
Yeah, Twitch is having its issues. Oh,
they're gonna do Clam Chat's gonna do their thing anyway, and so we're just gonna do our thing while they do their thing, right?
Exactly. But yeah, so tell me, how has your past 2 weeks in gaming been?
Man, okay, so I do want to start off and say I'm sorry, guys. Like, I missed a few weeks. So it was completely my fault. So the first week I couldn't make it, which I'm usually very available on Wednesday nights, but for some reason the past 2 weeks have just been crazy. And so, week 1, so 2 weeks ago, we ended up not having a show, and I ended up, I had a meeting that night at my church that I absolutely could not miss. I gave a sermon that Sunday, and so could not miss that one. That was the only night that worked out for my pastor and all that good stuff, so couldn't miss that one. And then the next Wednesday, I couldn't make it because my sister is in town from Florida, which is where you're from, Mr. Nineball.
I know that one. I am
yes,
aware of that fact.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
I'm just reminding you. So she couldn't. She was only in town for a little bit, and my wife was like, "We are going to dinner on Wednesday. This is the only night that works for everybody. We are going." And so I unfortunately could not work around it at all. And so I ended up getting home. Like, I thought I was gonna get home at a decent time. I was like, oh, maybe I could still jump on, but by the time I got home, it was like already started, and I was like, well,
I've had conversations with Twiz, who does a couple other shows here on Blizz Pro, about trying to add someone into an overlay in like the middle of a show that's already
and it
started.
Just gets awkward.
Yep.
And then you get like the Skype call in there, like the sound of it and all that awkwardness.
You mean like what happened last week?
I'm not gonna say anything. So yeah. So that's why, I apologize, guys. That's like why I was gone, and my last 2 weeks have been crazy because there's been we're at quarter end, so I'm in finance, and we're at the quarter end, so it's crazy busy for me now. And so yeah, I did get some gaming in. So I've been playing some Diablo and trying to knock out my achievements again, just keep cranking them out. And so the past few episodes, I haven't really had much to talk about. I'm still cranking these out. This week, however, I have things that I can announce, which is pretty exciting. I'm not 100% yet, so I don't have them all completed yet, but I'm getting dang close. So, um, so since I think the last episode, I've completed 4 achievements, I believe.
Hmm.
So I completed Haunted finally, which is meet all the ghosts. So I finally have that one. I feel like since vanilla, um, those were driving me nuts, and I was always spent too long finding those. So
I had
got all.
always been since vanilla. I had been missing the one in the realm of shadow. I forget which one that was.
Oh yeah.
He was just the only one that I was missing. I didn't find him until I want to say like a month or two in from Reaper when he came up as a bounty.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
See, the one that I had the most trouble with was in the tomb, like in the actual tomb itself. And so for the longest time, I always thought it was in the tomb with the matriarch, I believe. Is it the
Hmm.
matriarch? I always thought it was in that one. And so I spent like hundreds of runs doing it in the wrong tomb. And so
Hmm.
that figures,
That,
right?
that sounds like last season when I was doing the lore book achievement. Yeah,
No.
I was trying to get the one from the summoner in the Highlands, and he
Okay.
does not appear in adventure mode. You have to go into story mode in order to get him to
Yeah.
appear. So I was farming him for hours. Luckily, I was also at the same time farming for the demon corpses in the
Okay.
battlefields of eternity. So
For
it's
the
not like I
ancient.
really lost too much time, but it significantly cut into my corpse running.
Yeah.
To try and find those because I had to go and run all along the side of the Southern Highlands there.
So are you going to do the lore book achievement for season 4?
Well, I think I plan on it, like going through
Okay.
and doing it again, and it will tie into some of the other stuff which we can talk about
Oh
later.
yeah, yeah. I'm jumping forward. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll finish my week in gaming or weeks in gaming. So so I completed that one. I completed it's called Irreplaceable You, and so it actually ties in with another achievement called a special assignment. And so it's basically all five of the, or sorry, not all five. It's all of the uniques in Act Five. And
Hmm.
so there were 2 or 3 that it just took me forever to find. It was in one was in Westmarch Commons, and one was in Pandemonium Fortress One, and then another one was I can't remember, like the sewers or something like that. And so those took me for freaking ever. Finally got those
Forever.
forever. And yeah, and then the last one, which is the one that I'm most proud of, is I got a unique collection. And so this is like that huge long list of all the uniques in the challenges section. And so it's been uh, that thing took so long. Like I never knew so going into all these achievements when I started planning out, oh, this one's gonna take a long time, this one's gonna take a long time. I never imagined this one. I didn't think it was gonna be so long, and it was.
Hmm.
It took so long. So I have all those knocked out. The only ones I have left now are Miso Thorny, which is the Crusader. Kill 10,000 monsters with thorn damage. So I just need to get a geared out Crusader. I don't have one currently
Hmm.
um, with the stuff that I need, so I need to get that. Um, and then Savior and Survivor are the 2 that I'm worried about or that I'm dreading the most, which is save players from death 250 times and then survive combat with low health 250 times. So those 2, like I started them and they're really tedious. Like they're not fun to do. Um, and then the last one I have are the bounties. So the 10,000 bounties, which I like. That one's going to take a long time, but I think it's going to be okay once season 4 starts. And like, we're going to be doing bounties endless anyway. So like, might as well get an achievement out of it, right?
Hmm.
So those achievements are what I have left, and then I will be at 100%, and then I will be up there with Shepard, you and me, my man.
Yep. You two can sit and scour at the rest of us down in the lowly fields of only like 5,000 achievement points.
Yeah. Ha ha ha! I remember when I was your age. That's just gonna be one less thing to worry about, right? And then I
Hmm.
can be like, I can actually focus on the game now. So
now we play the game, Kyle.
yeah, now we
Now we
play.
play the game.
Now what? Now we play the game, Kyle. I love that. South Park for those of you guys.
Yep.
So that is my long-winded weekend gaming. I kind of went for a while, but that is my weekend gaming, weeks in gaming.
Well, to
Uh,
make up for it, I got nothing.
Spoiler alert. Hey, Nineball, what have you been up to this week
Oh,
in
well,
game?
we got 15 seconds left in this segment, so not a lot. Um, no, I did actually get to do something fun last week. I was on Misclicks. They did a Heroes like exhibition match, and
Hmm.
some of the guys from the Heroes Power Hour, as well as I believe it was the what was it, Halls of the Storm podcast. I'm trying to. Damn it! I feel so bad now. I should have wrote this down, and I have to go through searching through Twitter right now in order to find who it was. But we got matched up with another podcast, and we got then matched
Oh,
up against
nice.
people from another podcast
What
who
podcast
also,
was it?
yeah, it was. But this was on the Misclicks. They're a really big channel. They do a lot of esports stuff, Dungeons and
Hmm.
Dragons, um, streaming, and other things of that nature. But the people on the other team were from Tempo Storm,
Oh,
an actual
nice.
professional, Heroes of the
Yeah, they're
Storm team.
good.
Yeah, so we got our asses handed to us. We did go 2-1, but that's only because in the second game they decided to screw around and went like with Diablo and Murky and
That's
just some
awesome.
other like joke characters while we try harded. And then the third game we decided to try hard, or not try hard, but to go with a whole bunch of joke characters with like Triple Warrior Chin and some other stuff like that. And we waited for our Chin choice till the very last one, and we let our time run out on the draft pick just to build up the drama, you know.
Hmm.
And then we picked Chin, and chat went crazy. We were the worst players ever. It's like all those ones. It's like we did it for fun.
You're okay with it.
It was great. I had a lot of fun. If you can go and check that over on
So were you
the
playing with
Misclick.
Blizz Pro guys or what?
Yeah, Jimmy and JR were there.
Okay,
Yep,
good guys.
yep. Unfortunately, Twiz and Balrog fan could not make it, but that was a lot of fun. And then I've been messing around a little bit here and there on Diablo, just trying to get a little bit closer to wanting to get Paragon 400 for this season. It was one of my goals that I wanted to do. Only have a few weeks left. And I can say we only have a few weeks left too, because that's one of the big things that we found out since last week is that we have a we actually we have the season. We
Yeah.
know the end is nigh. We got
It's
this.
not, that should have been our title.
Oh
We
dang
can
it! There
change
we
it
go.
still, can't we?
We could, but it's too late. I'm lazy.
The end is nigh.
Yeah.
Draw your swords.
Yep, but this one of the big things that we had announced last Friday, in fact, is that season 3 is going to be ending on August 23rd. And now
Yeah.
that we have season 3 end date, of course, that also means we have season 4 starting times, which is going to be Friday, August 28th at 5 p.m. Pacific, which will be 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep.
And that is the day after my birthday. Yeah,
Birthday.
so,
They did it for you. They
yeah,
couldn't do it on your
exactly.
birthday.
Exactly. So,
They had to give you some. They had to let you have some attention, and then they scheduled it after your birthday.
yeah, to
So
everyone at the Diablo team, thank you for the birthday gift because I'm sure you 100% did that specifically for me,
yeah.
because you already knew that I requested that weekend off anyways. So there, there we go.
Boom. So
That worked out.
you requested off the weekend for your birthday?
The weekend after, so I have
Okay.
I've got the time after my birthday off.
Okay.
Yep.
I
So
usually try to I just kind of skim over my birthday. I don't know why, because my wife makes a really big deal out of it.
this was probably like one of the few occasions that I've got to have some legitimate reason to request a weekend off from work, so I'm
That's
taking it
true.
because normally
Yeah.
I don't actually care about taking time off for my birthday because it's like, oh, look, I'm a year older. Yay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep. And that's like the only thing that I requested for my birthday this year was Star Wars stuff.
Star Wars.
I
That's why
want to get into X-Wing so bad.
I apologize. I don't remember who it was, but someone sent an email saying, "Hey, lunatic,
No,
don't
no,
let Nineball
no,
read
no,
this."
not talking about that email. No, we're not
We
doing it.
have to. We have to. He said, "Don't let Nineball read this." How can we get him this Jar Jar figure? I lost it. I don't remember who it was. I am so sorry. I'll look that up and give them credit because it was so funny. But oh man, yeah, that was. I apologize. That was
Thank you for
like,
joining us this week on the Westmarch Workshop. We'll be returning next week with a different co-host.
oh yeah. Hey, I never bring up Jar Jar.
But you
It was
just did. You've said it twice. One more time.
what? What?
And then it's like the Beetlejuice principle.
I won't do it.
Okay, good. Good.
Jar Jar.
Anyways,
He's behind me.
they actually that complete and total tangent at this point. But are you familiar with the show Community?
I am familiar. I don't watch it a ton, but it is really funny.
In the first season, they did actually have a joke where sporadically they would mention Beetlejuice, and the third time they mentioned it on the show, he walked by in the background.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That show is
show.
funny. I need to
Amazing show.
put some more time into that show because it's like one of those shows that you can just relax to and just like watch. You don't have to like pay 100% attention to it.
Yeah. Where are we with this episode?
I'm sorry.
I don't know.
Season.
We're talking about Star Wars and Community and.
Well, hey, that's what we got a good review last week because we're willing to go into tangents because
this is true.
Because we're friends and we like to talk about things and we talk mostly about Diablo, but if we want to talk about something else, we can. It's okay.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But
sorry, guys, this is a Diablo podcast, though.
This is for any of you that are first listening to us for the first time on like YouTube and iTunes or catching us here on Twitch. We do actually talk about Diablo at some point in this show. I promise.
And we have a lot of fun.
Yes, as you can tell from my expression when we talk about Jar Jar.
Mm-hmm. You said it, not me. You said it.
Yeah, but I said it ironically. Okay?
I'm Ron Burgundy.
Right? I'm Ron.
All right.
Myself from the feeling? No, that is in fact what you actually were doing. It's like,
So season 4 begins Friday, August 28th, day after Nineball's birthday. 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yep, I know that most of you are used to us going through and doing like a season 4 or like the season beginning all night stream. We are currently in talks of doing something like that. Yeah, no details yet or what it is that we're going to be doing. We should do something maybe, but we will let you all know.
It's gonna be fancy.
Once we actually have that on lockdown.
It's gonna be fancy. It's gonna be fancy.
Yeah, whatever it is that we do, we'll stay classy. Sanctuary.
Yep. Stay classy, Sanctuary. I like that.
Yep.
That should have been our show title. We're never gonna get through this show. But...
I guess one of the other big things that comes with this announcement is they're doing things.
Tuxes. I'm sorry. Sorry. That's awesome. That's happening sometime.
Instead of doing the podcast in tuxes, would you accept penguin outfits in memory of Archon, who is on the moon teaching penguins how to play Pokemon?
You could wear a tux or you could wear a penguin costume. It's a tux.
Do you want another tangent?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I own one tie, and it has penguins on it.
That's awesome.
Because when I worked at the law office, we would go out to like some really fancy like 5-star restaurants for our Christmas party or holiday party, and so to make it so that way I dressed up, I wore a tie because one year one of the head attorneys asked me to, so I did. But being me, it had penguins on it, so that is like the tie that I own.
And I'm muted. There
we go.
You have to wear that. You have to wear that tie for one of our for one of our shows. You know that, right? I like that. So that was kind of a joke,
Mm-hmm.
podcast and talk says, but we should start doing some like theme nights.
Mm-hmm. We
Theme
we could
nights,
do
like
it.
cheese night.
I would like that. I would like
I'm gonna
that.
put lines in my hair because I have hair now.
There you go.
So
One of the benefits. Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. So
Um,
all
back
right.
on topic.
So we are
13th
planning.
shenanigans
We are
of the
planning on
night.
doing something. Not opening night, whatever
But
you
yeah,
call that.
we'll probably do something opening night. We will talk about it later. But there are some interesting things that were also coincided with the season announcement, such as uh, consoles will be getting the patch
Yes.
2.3 at the same time as everyone else, but they didn't actually give a date for the 2.3 patch. Although they are saying that the patch will come out before season 4 starts, and the patch will not come out before season 2 or season 3 ends. So it's
Yes.
going to be somewhere between like the 23rd and the 28th when we actually
Yeah.
get the patch. Which that kind of means that it's going to be the 25th is when we'll get the patch, but I guess
Tuesday.
they're leaving it out there just in case they push the patch on a day other than Tuesday.
Yep. That's interesting. Yeah, I could see it. That yeah, 25th is gonna. That's probably when it's gonna be because yeah, it's
Yeah.
their maintenance day. They
Uh,
did also say that the season 4 will be at least 3 months.
mm-hmm.
So they didn't set an actual date for it, like a length, but that would be interesting because it would put us around November, um, and could go along with maybe some announcements at BlizzCon.
Yeah, that could, though. If it's going to
It'd
be at a
probably be too
minimum,
early, but
yeah, if it's going to be like a minimum of 3 months, that means it's going to be like end of November, beginning of December would be 3 months.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
That's true.
even because even though it's beginning in August, it's the end of August. Um, but I guess there was one thing that I actually noticed, and this one is a little bit props to Flux over at Ink Gamers, because I didn't even notice it, because I'm always a seasonal player. I don't really care what goes on during the eras and the non-seasonal, but there is a lot of competition that still goes there, and there's a lot of people that they'll log on to the season just to get some of the season rewards, and then they
Hmm.
go back because they want to perfect that one character that they have. All of their time and effort goes into that, and
I have
playing
a
in a
lot of respect
season.
for people who do that.
Yeah, and playing in a season doesn't really give them that thought that they're like, I'm empowering this person, even though I'm getting some loot and like pre-farming for them or whatever. I just want to play this one character, so I'll wait for the season rewards to get rolled into the non-seasonal stuff. But it seems that they're not wiping the non-seasonal leaderboards um, at the end of the season.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, so the era will continue past the end of season 3, and that means that there's going to be seasonal characters getting rolled into the non-season that are going to have access to certain items and gems that people did not have during the era. And a lot of people are concerned with if that's going to give them, a little bit of an edge to make some pushes to get onto the top of the leaderboard at the end of the era.
That is interesting. Yeah, because they'll like once that rolls over, they should have access to those items, but those people that are rolling over into the era, well, chances are they have already have those best items if they're being used. If that makes
Hmm.
sense. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
interesting. I never thought about that. I didn't realize that either, to be honest. That's
yeah, it's one of those ones that I mean that's some pretty legitimate concerns because now you're like giving I guess seasonal characters like a double boost. And it's not just that, but if you look at the way that some of those seasonal like gems or items are have the effect on people that are in seasons and outside of seasons, it's kind of a different scenario. Before, like when you're in season 1, um, or I guess more so when you were in season 2, or I guess also in season 1 as well, the seasonal progression lacking or was lagging a little bit behind the non-seasonal just because they had more time to farm. They had higher Paragon levels, they had better gear. But with the power that they're introducing in a lot of these seasonal items, some of the things that are going on, more of a focus on seasonal play, being able to find the better groups, and there's a lot of people that have surpassed their non-seasonal Paragon levels in season 3, by like pushing the experience add-ins and all those other types of like kind of like boosting to get huge levels. That in this season, the seasonal characters have pushed higher than non-seasonal, and Flux went through, took all the data, and put it together, and it's pretty much every single class. The seasonal characters have surpassed the non-seasonal.
Surpassed.
I think everything but Barbarian. Because with the Wizard, non-seasonal is greater of 62, seasonal is 65. Witch Doctor, non-seasonal is 60, season is 61. Monk is 59 for non-season, 63 for season. Demon Hunter, 64 non-seasonal, 65 for seasonal.
Mm-hmm.
Crusader is 60 and 64, and it's the Barbarian where the non-seasonal is 64 and season is 63.
That's interesting.
Yeah, so there's going to be all these characters that are going to be rolling into the non-seasonal pool, and well, I've already cleared, higher than what you have, and now you have to go and farm these items that have given me the ability to progress higher.
Hmm. How could that? So I mean,
And not
was
just
it?
that, but imagine these some of these seasonal characters that are going to be logging into the end of the era, and now all of a sudden they've gained like 1,000 Paragon levels.
You know, that's I don't know. Did they say why they're ending the eras later?
I don't know.
That
Although
I feel
Droth
like they
Vader is going
they
and saying,
started them different time, didn't
yeah,
they?
no, the new era begins as soon as the previous era ends. But Droth is saying that apparently um that they've gone through and they've edited it, and that the
Oh,
era will end at the same time.
okay, that's good.
Okay, that is good. So just ignore the previous 10 minutes of conversation that we had.
Yeah,
There you
cropped.
go. Uh huh.
But yeah, I don't know. That's okay. But yeah. So that is interesting.
All right,
I'm
there we
glad.
go.
I'm glad they came back on that though.
Yeah,
So
definitely. Oh, but yeah, once we go through and start to that's nice that they went through and addressed those concerns. I feel bad because we were going through and ranting about something that was already answered. There we go.
well, it just got fixed while we were here. That's all.
Yeah, there we go.
I
Good
doubt
on
that,
you.
but they did it because we were talking about it.
Yeah.
So,
Well, let's see. What do we have next for our topic? So yes, there was the PTR, probably one of the last PTR patches that happened today,
hmm
and there was a couple like little things that they went through. Let me pull up those notes. There was a couple little changes. There's not really anything big. This is mainly just some bug fixes.
a few
There
hot
was one
fixes as
thing
well.
that there was a lot of concerns with the way that exploding palm burning essence was scaling. That it just said the as long as you continued to reapply it, it kept refreshing its duration, so that way it would never fall off, and so you could just infinitely stack the dot portion of essence burn, and that was leading to some uh, interesting greater rift clears, I would say.
hmm
Yeah. So that was definitely as one of those ones. They said, I think it was on one of Quinn's streams last week. They mentioned that they were looking into it and that a fix would be coming out. Though there's some concerns that monks were using that in order to compete at the higher greater rifts, um, like the higher greater rifts. But I'm sure no one really wants to like compete using an exploit, or at least a bug. I wouldn't really call it an exploit so much. Just how are you supposed to know that that's not how it was intended? The
Right.
dot just kept stacking and stacking. And there's some other like little minor fixes. One of the more interesting ones that I found was that they're removing one of the witch doctor items. They
Yeah.
added
It's
on,
temporary, right?
yeah, it's the deadly rebirth. It was It used to be that Grasp of the Dead just added the effect of Rain of Corpses, but it now also increased the damage of Grasp of the Dead by 45 to 60%, and they're now taking it out of the drop pool, so it doesn't have a chance to drop, and they'll re-enable it in a future patch.
Yeah, I don't know the story behind that,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure what the cause of that one was. I know that that was something that they were, playing around with in the Helltooth builds. That was one of those little ones that I kind of noticed when it's like, well, I've really not been paying attention to witch doctors. What was going on there that caused that to be one of the things they had to take out? Um, but let's see. There also was the patch note or the little hot fix that they added in that I guess missed the patch, and so they had to add it in a little bit. Was the convention of elements that if
Mm-hmm.
the convention of elements cycled over to lightning damage, it was buffing the conduit pylon. And I guess they're fine with that, but they just don't want it to affect Rift Guardians. Even like if you watch some of the streams from the PTR, Rift Guardians aren't what they used to be. You'll go through, and I saw this on some Reddit comments of people going and showing off some builds where, they're clearing through the Rift Guardian spawns, and then they kill it like in 30 seconds, and like, what the hell is going on here? And it's like they take up a far smaller portion of the rift. We've talked about this in previous episodes, but I guess they still want it to be not be like an instagib from the conduit pylon. They've made some changes where the conduit pylon, its damage doesn't stack with the power pylon, and it doesn't hit Rift Guardians as much. They have like damage resistance against it, and then now they're also adding in so that Convention of Elements doesn't buff the damage against Rift Guardians. Still trying to find that it's like that little niche of, well, Rift Guardians are still a thing. They're still there in order to measure a certain amount of progression within the Rift, and we don't want people just walking over them thanks to Conduit.
Hmm. Good old conduit, always
Mm-hmm.
causing problems.
Yep, it's here. It's gone. They're always having to go through and do some
It's
changes and
nerfed.
fixes
It's
to it.
buffed.
Yep. It's unusable. It's pointless. Why even click on it? Oh, it's the
But
best
we
thing ever.
love it.
Uh
So yeah, that was about it for the patch though, right? That it was just a little one, and
huh. Mm-hmm.
like you said, it's probably gonna be the last one, or one of the last one of the last ones. Um,
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much if you're looking for any major changes to skills, they're not coming at this point. If we do have any other future like little hot fixes or patches, it's just going to be for little things like this, fixing broken items like Clam's rebuttal and stuff like that.
Clam's rebuttal. Clam.
Yep, I had to put it in. I had
You
to
had
add it.
to.
Had to. Just absolutely had to.
So that's about it for the patch.
Yeah. So I mean, it's like one of those ones. It's just like all just waiting for we're waiting for the I guess the 25th. The 23rd will be the end of the season, but the 25th will hopefully be the patch, and then the 28th for getting in there for the new season, getting started. Everyone is so excited for getting into season 4 with all the changes that they're making. I know for me, it's like being able to play a Hammerden again. But everyone has like little tiny things that they're like looking forward to, whether it's
So what are your goals right now?
um, well,
Do
my
you have
goals actually are kind of going to coincide with the season journey. One of the new features that
uh,
they're adding in, and that's I guess one of the we haven't discussed it too much on the show, but one of the other new features that they're adding into the game, where instead of doing like separate seasonal achievements or just like before it was just, well, let's just copy all
mhm.
achievements and make them seasonal for you to go through and do, and we'll add in some conquests and a couple like season only achievements to making in this last season a whole bunch of like these are special achievements just for the season, can't do them anywhere else. um, Now they're kind of like what is that, refining it even further and making it its own separate almost mechanic, and it's going to be called the Season Journey.
Yeah, I'm excited for this.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the things that I did test a little bit on the PTR, like when it first started. I haven't, to be honest, I haven't played it as much PTR lately as I would have liked to, but this is one of the things um, that I was looking at the beginning. I'm excited for this as well, and this is probably going to coincide with my goals a little bit as well. So, so yeah, you want to get into it?
Yeah,
Talk
let's
about
do
it?
it. Yeah. So there's kind of like two different segments to the season journey that has the beginning that you can go through when you open it up. Just by creating a seasonal character on the main menu screen, you'll see the new little like season journey icon over on the right hand side of your screen. Looks like a little book, it says season journey chapter 1, starting off with. And this is how you will earn the seasonal rewards instead of having to go through and like complete 100 Paragon points or 100 or excuse me, like 400 was it this previous season, earn 100 achievement points during the season and earn 400 achievement points to get like the pennant and the portrait. And as long as you hit like level 70, you would also get the transmog sets for it. Now there's going to be a new portrait that you can get as well as a pet, and it's going to be tied into this mechanic. And you have to complete your 4 chapters in order to unlock those bonuses. And this is kind of easy ones that they expect everyone's going to be able to do. And they are like really simple. Like chapter 1, complete 5 bounties, complete a rift, socket a gym, slay the butcher, raise all of your artisans to level 5, and then reach level 35. So
Doable.
yeah, so it's like you'll be able to do that, probably while you're leveling to 70 the first night. You'll get chapter 1 completed. And
Yeah.
like chapter 2, craft an item. Complete a rift on hard. Slay the Butcher, Belial, Asmodan, Diablo, and Malthael on hard or higher. Fully equip a follower. Get all of your artisans to level 10 and reach level 60. So,
Also doable.
yep. And it's like it goes. Then I'll skip 3 because it's more of just the same. But
Yeah.
in order to complete all of them, to like secure your pet, to complete chapter 4 is replace an enchantment on an item with the help of the mystic, extract a legendary power using Kanai's cube, slay all of the act bosses on Torment 1 or higher, kill all of the key wardens on Torment 1 or higher, reach Greater Rift 10 solo, and equip all slots with legendary items that require at least level 70.
Ooh. So this is when you start getting into the end game,
Yeah, so this
basically.
is this is something that in order to get the seasonal rewards, yeah, it will require a little bit of time. Doesn't seem as if it requires as much time as last season 3, because getting those 400 achievement points with some of those seasonal achievements did require you to grind a little bit more
Yeah, it really
than it
did.
wasn't previously. Where before it was you want to get all of the season unlocks, hit level 70, and then like do a rift, and then that's it, you're done. Um, Now, actually going through and getting this, it will take, because you have to get to Torment 1, basically. As long as you can reach Torment 1, you're good. And everything else is just going to be easy. So it's just having to play a character, equip them well enough so that way you can do Torment 1, and then, like, you can do some crafting in order to get all of your item slots filled out with legendaries and a little bit of farming, and you're fine.
Hmm.
And then that is what they expect everyone to be able to do. From that point forward, there are additional portrait frames that you can get that kind of shows like your level of dedication or how hardcore you hit this season. And they do start getting pretty brutal from that point forward.
I love this.
Yeah. There's one. The first one is now after you complete chapters 1 through 4, it unlocks a new one called Slayer. And this one is you have to like extract 10 legendary powers into the cube. You have to complete the realm of Discord, the realm of Chaos, and the realm of Turmoil on Torment 1 at level 70. You have to reach Greater Rift 25. You have to finish a level 70 Rift on Torment 6 in under 5 minutes. and you have to level 3 legendary gems to level 25, and then equip a follower completely in legendary items. And then that gives you a portrait frame. So that's one of those ones where it's like, okay, we're expecting a little bit more from you. Now you're actually dedicating, quite a bit of time, because you have to, instead of before where you just, are you capable of doing Torment 1? Okay, good. Now you have to do Torment 6, but you have to complete the Rift in under 5 minutes. A lot of people, you'll get Slayer like that first weekend. It's not going to be that much. Probably the biggest thing is, getting the equip to do Torment 6, and then farming up the mats to extract the 10 legendary powers, and that's about it. Or getting lucky enough to find the follower relic to drop for you. But then it's like then it takes it a step further. Champion, extract 25 level, extract 25 powers into the cube. Then you also have to kill the Soul of Evil, which is one of the other Uber events. Complete Greater Rift 30 solo. Now Torment 7 in 5 minutes, and then get 3 legendary gems up to 30. And it's kind of a progression from there. You have Champion, Destroyer, Conqueror, and then the final level, which I'm actually not sure what the final level is called, but it starts getting pretty ridiculous. So if you want to go through and unlock every single portrait and get every single reward from Season 4, this is what you have to do. You have to extract 100 items into the cube. This is something that can easily be done. All classes have, over 100 items that they can extract. I think all classes have over 120 or 130 items that they can extract into the cube. Certain classes have a little bit more of an advantage because they have more class weapons or more items that they can equip, so that there's more things that they can, take in. But it's going to be something that's more or less the same level of dedication from everybody, just because of how many mats it's going to require to extract all that stuff into the cube. You have to complete Greater Rift 60 solo. Yeah. Now there's going to be a lot of power creep in this season, whereas as we were listing off some of the the seasonal bests on this season's on season 3's leaderboard, there's a lot of power creep in season 4, so people are going to be pushing well past 60. But yeah, this definitely is not intended for everyone to do. You have to complete a Torment 10 Rift in under 3 minutes, which is about equivalent to Greater Rift 45, if you want to know how difficult that's going to be. You have to get your 3 legendary gems to level 60, which is, that's going to take a while.
That's just time consuming.
Yep. You have to, now the last 2 are rather interesting. You also have to kill Greed on Torment 6 or higher. So I guess it's one of those ones where it's like you just have to find a vault on Torment 6, which is going to be easy because all you have to do is take a puzzle ring, throw it into the cube, and it opens up the Realm of Greed for you. And then also reach level 70 in hardcore.
Oh, check mark.
There you go. So expect the requests for people wanting to get leveled to 70 in hardcore.
We've already received some of those in
yeah.
Bliss Pro. not our Bliss Pro clan, but our Bliss Pro team, like the website.
Yep.
So we will do it with happiness for the most part.
Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff to go through and start checking off if you want to unlock every single one of the portraits and really say, like, I conquered season 4. Like, I did everything.
Man, that's
one of the things I forgot. I have to go back 1 second. Oh, and you have to complete 3 conquests.
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah, so there's a lot of things to do. A lot of things.
So this is exciting because if you are going for this, then while some of these are going to be hard to do in hardcore, like Greater Rift 60 and things like that, I'm excited because hopefully this means that more people are going to play hardcore with us.
Mm-hmm.
That would be awesome. We always want more people playing with us.
Of course.
I was actually talking to somebody at work today about, because he was thinking about getting back into Diablo for season 4, and he was telling me about, or I was telling him that I play hardcore, and he's like, man, I don't know if I could ever do that. And I think by the end of the conversation, I think I had him convinced to play hardcore. And um, I guys, if you're considering hardcore, come talk to me or Nineball, and we will convince you to play hardcore
Mm-hmm.
because you'll never go back.
I just watched some of my old episodes where I started soapboxing about hardcore, and that is one of those ones where it's like I realize that it's not for everyone, and um, I do not have anything against anyone that
I
says
do.
hardcore is not for them.
I
Okay,
do.
quiet you. Because if you talk, this is actually something that's been brewing in the back of my mind for a while. If you talk to someone like the like big name streamers, they talk about how they would prefer to play hardcore, but a lot of hardcore people go softcore simply for the competition.
Yep,
Because there's so much more competition at the higher end that if
there
you
really
really want
is.
people to push you, you play softcore just because there's more people willing to compete at the higher end of the spectrum. There's more people that will push you to be a better player if you play softcore. Just because in hardcore, towards the end of the season, if you lose a character, you might be completely out of the running.
Yep.
Yep. Um, but real quick though, some of the conquests. I also just want to mention going into season 4, we do have a few of the old ones coming back, such as like the boss mode, where you have to kill the bosses at the end of every act in under 20 minutes.
Oh
Uh,
yes.
yep, and then there's the Divinity Lionhearted, but they're upping it, so now you have to reach Greater Rift level 60. Though the conquest itself doesn't mean that you have to do it solo. You can do it in a group. One of the big ones that I believe, you know, UI and Leviathan were talking about just a few days ago is the thrill and superhuman. You have to
Yeah, we
complete
got an email
a
about that.
yeah you have to complete a greater rift level 40 solo without the bonuses of any class set.
That's fun.
Yeah, that one's gonna be interesting to see what type of builds people come up with you know in order to do that with like I want to play my favorite class. I don't want to have to just go through and do something easy like roll a demon hunter or a barbarian just so that way I can just complete this conquest. I want to do it with my own. Kind of like Nevelistus going through and saying how she was going to complete like the Greater Rift, one of the Greater Rift conquests for this season. Wearing Shadow's Coil.
That's awesome.
You know.
I would love that.
Hmm.
Yeah, we got an email about that, so we can touch on that a little bit later as well.
Yeah, definitely. We can bring that one back up once we get to the community feedback. But yeah, so there's a lot of things to do, and so there's a lot of planning to be had if you really want to start getting into season 4. So that's one of those things to like keep in mind with what classes you want to level or what sets that you want to try out. There's going to be a lot that you have to do in order to make it, especially if you're playing hardcore, because that Greater Rift 60 solo is a very scary prospect.
Yeah.
Yeah, even with the power creep that we're going to be getting with the cube, that's going to be harsh.
Do
It's
you
going to be
think there's
very
going to be
harsh.
some classes that will not be able to complete that?
I am not sure.
I don't know. Has anybody, I mean, I know PTR is somewhat meaningless regarding leaderboards, but yeah, okay, I'm looking right now. There have been classes that completed 60.
Hmm.
Barbarian has, mm, I'm only looking at hardcore as well. So it looks like just hardcore, season hardcore, just Barbarian. So, um, okay. Now if I'm looking softcore, they're all doing it. Okay. Sorry. I don't need to do research while we're on the air, but yeah,
Yeah.
so hardcore I want yeah, and I guess I should clarify. I'm wondering if hardcore if there's some classes in hardcore that would not be able to complete that. I would be interested in that.
Yeah, I don't know. There are some that will be like interesting because there's like like something like a Crusader, which like wasn't performing all that great, this season, but they're getting a new set, so a lot's going to be in flux with them going into the next season. But theirs is more of a question of DPS more so than it is like survivability because you have so many get out of jail free cards.
Sorry, who'd
You
you say?
What was that?
Who did you say?
Crusaders.
Oh, Crusader.
Yeah. Um, as they have the survivability, they could probably do it, but it'll be more of a question of damage. But they're getting,
Yep.
some interesting buffs, like with the Secret of the Light set and some other changes. And they'll be getting pretty decent mileage out of the cube. So it'll be interested in seeing how many people we see that manage to get, that final tier of the season journey playing strictly hardcore.
Yep. I don't like the idea of leveling another character just to get that. Like leveling a character in softcore just to get that.
Hmm.
So that thing this kind of worries me. Um, but I mean, you know, it's that's why you play hardcore, right?
Yeah,
Is it
pretty much. It's
be
one of those
fun?
ones where it's like I'm not really bothered by them going through and doing this.
No, you're right.
They need to set the goals high, especially for some of these, with softcore. Um, if you really kind of lowered it any, it really wouldn't be that big of an achievement anyways. And it's just one of those ones you have to accept with hardcore. We don't push as far as softcore because if we die, that's it, game over. We don't have that luxury.
Right.
But that's part of the challenge and part of the reasons why you play hardcore. So
It does.
I'm.
You're right. It puts a little bit more on the line, which is good.
Hmm.
Which I feel like is what we've been kind of asking for. I know that's what I've been asking for, and I've maybe hinted at it in past episodes, but I always want there to be more on the line when I'm playing hardcore, as brutal as that sounds.
Yeah, no, I'm
So,
this is one thing I am 100% okay with, and I hope that they do not lower the requirements for hardcore. And I'm saying that I probably will not get, this final chapter in the seasonal journey. Just saying the type of player that I am a bit more casual than, especially compared to like Leviathan and others. I start the season off really hardcore, but then I have to kind of like rein it back as the rest of real life comes in. So I am
yeah.
100% um, not. Uh, I'm 100% not deluding myself that, oh, I'm going to go through and I'm going to get this. And the reason why I don't is because I play hardcore. No, it's the reason because I'm not putting in enough time and dedication, to get it. There
Hmm.
will be a lot of hardcore players that do put in the time and effort to get it. I'm sure Steven is going to be one of those ones that is going to be pressing for it. And I will definitely be one of the ones that's, going through and helping him, in order to get there. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a good thing to shoot for. Uh,
I guess
yeah.
it's like the problem, when you go and add stuff like this, on the developer side, is you're going to have a lot of people that are going and will be requesting, oh, you need to nerf the requirements because I
Yeah.
can't get it, you
Right.
know.
So
So
have they made any indication that this will be the only time that that you can get those portraits? Like, will these portraits be available next season in the same regard, or
I don't know whether
I don't know if they've
if they've specifically said that there'll be different portraits in the next season or not.
because
I
if you
think
say that, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that it would be cool if they gave different portraits and different rewards with every season. And you can go back and track, I was only able to get myself kind of like the bronze portrait, but this next season I got the gold portrait because I was able to go through. Uh-oh, I forgot to put my phone on silence.
Come on,
Uh-huh.
that's why we can't have nice
That
things.
is why we cannot have nice things. And for anyone that's wondering, yes, that is the codec from Metal Gear Solid because it's like the perfect ringtone ever. Um, but yeah, so
So I guess like um I mean I don't even remember what I was gonna say anymore. It's very important, but whatever. Anyway, yeah, I'm interested to see it, to see how it goes, and you know how um Yeah, my video froze up again.
Uh-oh.
Darn.
Yep, we got a little bit of a Skype hiccup there.
It froze really on a really nice face that I made.
Uh-huh.
So, so that's probably good for um can you hear me?
Yep, I can hear you. You're still there.
Okay.
You're still there.
Uh, it's probably good for the season journeys discussion, isn't it?
Hmm.
I'm excited because gives us goals to work for without having to list them out all by ourselves, right?
Hmm.
So, yeah.
Well, is how has the season journey like affected your goals? Like what you want to do with the season itself, especially being someone that is like such a, you're like way into like grabbing achievements and such.
So I think with this is kind of what I was looking for because I didn't like Paragon levels they're nice to have, um, but to me, I don't measure my success based on Paragon levels. Like I have like my Paragon level is not real high this I almost said this semester this season.
This
Uh,
semester,
this semester my Paragon level
it's a learning experience in Diablo.
yeah. No, but yeah, so like I didn't I mean that's not real high because I've been spending so much time on achievements and I don't know, they're just not I mean, it's nice to have them because they, in turn make your character better, but this is something that I enjoy because this isn't something that's required of you, but this is something that you can strive for to show people saying, "Hey, I play this game a lot, but it's not something that I have to do." And so that's why I like achievements and I'm a big list maker. I make lists for everything and I come home every day while I'm at work. I make a list every day at work and when I come home, these are the things I need to have done when I get home and I like to check off the list. And so my wife always gives me a hard time. She was always like, if I ever do something, she'll always yell out from the other room, check it off the list. Because that's exactly how I am. Like I like to check things off my list and that's how I feel a sense of accomplishment in like, anything I do. Like I'm a concrete person saying like, okay, I've completed this and this is what I had to show for it. Whether it's just a check off the list or whatever. Like that's how I have that's what I enjoy and that's how I feel accomplished. And so something like this excites me a lot. And to be honest, like I I only saw these extensive like Conqueror and Destroyer and things like that only recently, and so since seeing these, um, I've had so much more excitement for season four, and Nine Ball and Leviathan can vouch for it because I feel like I'm texting them all day, like, "You guys, okay, what like this is what's gonna happen," and like because there's more for me to strive for now, and so I'm excited. Yeah. So.
Very cool. Very cool. Um, that's one thing. Actually, going through and thinking about it with the pet that they're doing for the uh, seasonal achievements, there is some interesting things that were data mined out of the last patch. One of them is a Murloc Goblin with a little BlizzCon banner sticking out of the travel pack.
Hmm.
So I wonder what that has to say. So it looks like the BlizzCon pet for this year's BlizzCon is Diablo related. Dun dun dun.
Man, I hate that I'm
Dun
not
dun dun.
going.
Don't worry, Steven's going in your place.
I know.
Yeah,
I
you
know.
have a proxy.
I know.
Yeah, so I don't know if that there's going to be Diablo things at BlizzCon. We are talking about that last episode. We do
I hope there's
expect.
not. I'm just
We,
kidding.
yeah, you
I'm
would
just
say
kidding.
that, wouldn't you?
If I can't have it, no one can. I
Yeah,
kid.
sure. Yeah, I get it. I get it.
I'm that guy.
Uh-huh, you are that guy.
No, I
Uh-huh.
kid. I kid. So I will. Yeah, I will still be getting the virtual ticket and getting all the goods.
Mhm.
So.
Yeah. And I guess also, well, just while we're on the topic, there are some things that they are doing in the next Heroes of the Storm patch that coincide with Diablo. So they've done this for the other games already, where if you played a certain amount in Hearthstone, you got a card mount in Heroes, and if you reached a certain level in Heroes, you got a card back in Hearthstone. You got a pet in World of Warcraft, and all those other types of stuff. But they're finally doing it for Diablo. Kind of like that cross game promotion. And one of the cool things is if you actually reach level 70 with a character in season 4, if you also play Heroes of the Storm, you are going to be getting um, you'll be getting Malthael's Charger, a new mount that you can go through and play.
I love it.
Yep. And then also, just by logging into Diablo, if just by having like Diablo 3 or Reaper of Souls on your account when you log into Heroes, it will give you Diablo for free.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
Yep, and then also we'll be giving you like a Hero of the Storm themed portrait and pennant in Diablo 3 if you've reached level 12 in Heroes of the Storm. So if you're one of those people that likes to collect like every little bitty thing, log on to Heroes of the Storm, get to level 12, and then when the next Heroes patch comes out, you'll have a nice little kind of like cosmetic reward waiting for you. Excuse me, in Diablo.
Yeah, I need to get up to level 12 heroes. I played it some, and then I just need to.
Well, now is the perfect time because Leviathan is going and starting
He
to
is
get bit
playing.
by the bug and is starting to play Heroes. He is
I see him
actually
talking about it
online
all the
right
time.
now
I
playing
just saw
Heroes.
that too.
Yep.
Yeah,
Instead of watching our show.
I like the thing is that like lately I've my time has been so limited that when I do get a chance to play something, like I want to play Diablo because I haven't been playing as much as I wanted to in general, like specifically, I guess not in general, but specifically with Diablo. And so, man, it's hard to imagine putting another game into that mix right now. I'm not playing
Yeah.
anything else right now. That's
Yeah.
what's not even fun.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. I am like kind of similar. I kind of get focused or fixated on like a single game at a time.
mhm.
Um, I was talking about this on the last episode where lately I have not been doing like anything on my computer. So I've been playing a lot of Destiny because I can just lie in bed and play, and just going through and messing around on the console a little bit, in or like the console version of Diablo 3, I should clarify. But that's just like one of those ones where it's like I started getting into Destiny, and I'm like, wait, I need to play Diablo 2 at some
Yeah.
point. It's like I don't get a lot of games. Because I just get so fixated on one. I can't have a lot going on at the same time. I know I have so many friends where it's like, ooh, Steam sale. They buy like 20 games. Like, how can you?
You and I were talking about that the
Yeah,
other night.
how can you get through them all? I can't do that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Like, because I've had the Minecraft itch lately, um, and so for those of you who know Blaze and I started a server. I feel bad because like I haven't logged in like 2 weeks. Uh, yeah. So soon, hopefully now, like things are calming down. So like this weekend, my wife and I finally don't have anything going on, and like we're on purpose not making any plans. We're like, no plans, and like church on Sunday, and that's it. And then like I'm grilling on all day Saturday, and I'm gonna play games on Saturday, and I'm gonna have fun. Dang it.
hmm
So yeah, but
Just
yeah,
having that one day for you.
me
hmm
and my wife.
And your wife.
So yeah,
Well, I know but I guess on a slight tangent, there's a lot of like really big games coming out because like
there are.
right after season 4 hits, Metal Gear Solid 5 comes out. Kill me. And then like 2 weeks after that, the Destiny expansion comes out.
See, I'm still only like level 9 in Destiny.
Um,
I need to play
Xbox or
that more.
PlayStation?
Well, we've already talked about this
Oh,
too. I'm Xbox.
oh yes, that's right. I forgot. I
Xbox,
it
the only way to go.
you hurt me so badly that I had to repress it in my memory.
You know what though? There are so many good indie games on PlayStation that like, man, I would like to have a PlayStation as well. But yeah, can't have them all.
Yeah. Uh,
If we could just become professional video gamers to get paid just to play games, then we'll just do that.
Yeah, totally, totally.
So
I
yeah,
know there's one other one that I'm looking forward to is Battlefront coming out in November.
Battlefront. See,
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to Battlefront, and as Mugsley mentioned in Clam Chat, Fallout 4.
yeah. I
I
never got, and it was never that big into the Fallout series.
I started playing. I haven't even finished Fallout 3, but I am excited for Fallout 4. So yeah. But
Yeah. Oh,
anyway,
this past week at Gamescom, when they went through and they showed the new dogfighting mode in Battlefront, I think I cried.
oh, I don't know if I saw. I don't think I saw it.
I just cried seeing the TIE fighters and X-wings and A-wings interceptors just going around shooting each other. The Millennium Falcon came in and killed everything, and then it's like, well, if they get the Falcon, what do we get as the Empire? And
Seriously.
then Slave One comes up out of the clouds. And I'm like, ah,
Oh,
ah.
nice.
Yeah, uh,
Slave One.
gotta love it,
Oh, Boba.
gotta love it. Anyways, back on to topics of Diablo.
Back on there.
Yeah,
Do
getting
you
over
want
there.
to get
There,
into
There is,
games?
I guess, one more thing that I wanted to mention that came from this past week. There is another pretty new Diablo podcast called The State of Sanctuary. It's
Hmm.
some really big names from within the streaming community that get together and talk about some of like the very high-end concepts within Diablo. And there's one topic that they mentioned that I find really interesting because it's not something that with myself, given I'm a self-admitted very casual player, I don't push for the leaderboards like Steven does and such. That I didn't really know was as bad as it is, and that's Paragon levels.
Hmm.
And it really came to a head because they're having to expand Paragon levels. Previously, the kind of like hard cap coded into the system was 2,000 because they didn't expect anyone to get there within a reasonable amount of time. And it's now, it's taken this long for it to finally reached that point. It's been over a year since we got, patch 2.0, and they introduced the Paragon system before anyone's gotten to it. But now, when the season rolls over, there's going to be some people that are going to be at Paragon 2000, so they're pushing it out to 10,000 now. That's kind of like the hard cap.
Hmm.
And how much of an effect Paragon levels really have at the high end competitive play. And you think about it, it's like, well, each level is only like 5 of my main stat. Yeah, it is. It doesn't seem like a lot, but when someone has like 400 Paragon levels on top of you, that begins to make a pretty big difference.
Hmm.
If uh, sorry, I lost my train of thought there, but it's just like one of those ones where it's like that at the high end you can get to a point where your gear really can't get that much better, where the other person that you're competing with, yeah, he might have better gear. He's got like 100 more main stat, half a percent more crit. He's got
Yeah.
100 more resist, or like 100 more physical resist, or something along those lines. But these people are going through and they're pushing so many hours and they're reforging and re-rolling gear so often that they're very close to one another. And the only thing that separates them is how many Paragon levels that they have, because the difference between the actual gear sets is very minimal. And what
Yep.
would actually press their expansion into the higher, greater rifts is uh, obviously luck and RNG, being able to go through and roll the right density, the right map, the right Rift Guardian boss. How many conduits did I get to clear through mobs and all the other types of such. But now you're like going through and seeing that if this person has 400 more Paragon levels than I do, you're talking that's 2,000 more main stat.
Yep.
That's the difference between this guy has like 11,000 strength and he has 13,000 strength. He's doing almost 20% more damage than what I am from Paragon levels alone, and that's just 400. Let alone like it's infinitely scaling, and this is causing a problem at the higher end where people are being tempted to bot because
Hmm.
if they're not on playing Diablo and this other person is, or they're account sharing or something like that, I'm losing in progression just because I'm not playing. Not because I'm not a better player, but because I'm not botting like these other people are in order to go through and get that higher level. And so part of the conversation that they had is that they're talking about like putting caps on Paragon levels, which is not what the Paragons were intended to like not have a cap, that you could just keep going. It's something that you could just farm for infinitely. But that mentality now is starting to kind of finally, in this past couple seasons, it's finally starting to rear its ugly head that maybe that's not what's best for the game.
Yeah, and I would agree with. I mean, like, and when they first started Paragons, like, it's not something that you would think about, um, where like it's like the Paragons aren't gonna mean as much as probably they realize they're as they thought they would, because, um, I mean, man, what am I trying to say? Because like as you get higher, like that you're gonna have, and what they also kind of talked about as well is like there's fewer and fewer people that are in the same competition. You're only end up getting they're only competing with like a few other people because it's just so like spread out now too because of the unlimited number as well. And so, man, yeah, I would agree like that something needs to happen. And
Mm-hmm.
while it doesn't affect most of us, like it's still good to like make the high end, like the extreme competitive people, like take those guys into account as well, because there a lot of eyes are on those guys,
Well,
and a lot of people are watching them.
yeah, and this isn't like there's so many times like going and thinking back to like World of Warcraft where there's arguments about balancing between like PvE and PvP, and it's like, oh well, this class change only affects like high-end raiders or high-end people in PvP, but you're nerfing it for the vast majority of the player base, so now my spec isn't as powerful, and yada yada yada. This is a very interesting situation that I've seen in the game because this really only applies to those high-end players, the ones that are
Hmm.
being competitive. They could cap it, and it really doesn't affect you, me, most of the people in the chat that we've gone through and saying here that a lot of people going and chiming in. Like I haven't even hit, like 600, let alone 800 or 1,000 or something along those
Hmm.
lines. And it's one of those that I think that there's so much in the game now for like in-game content with the revamping of adventure mode for 2.3, just everything that Kanai's Cube brings to the table, greater rifts, and that maybe it is time to revisit the Paragon system. Maybe it needs a rework. Maybe that's going to be something for a future patch, or maybe they'll revamp the Paragon system again, in the next possible expansion, possibly at BlizzCon, hoping. Ooh. Um, but it's just one of those ones where it's like, yeah, the Paragon system, it served its purpose, but now is finally getting to the point where it's being exploited and is causing an issue at the very high end. And it's something that can be tackled and like put a cap on or something like that and really only affect the high end. If they cap it at just Paragon level 800, like when you go into a greater rift, you gain no benefits over Paragon 800. That won't affect you. It won't affect the vast majority of the player base, and the people that it affects are the ones that are the most vocal about calling out for a cap to the Paragon levels.
Yeah, fix it.
I will definitely be interested in seeing what the dev team has in store for that, because it's
Hmm.
something like this big, and especially to the extent that the issue was shown within season 3. um, it has to be on the devs' radar. They have to be doing something about it. I guess maybe we'll learn more. This is something that I would be surprised if it doesn't get a portion of its own panel at BlizzCon, whether they announce a new expansion or not. That this is something that I'm sure that they'll probably address it.
Hmm.
Over there. I would be very interested. Very interested.
Very interested. Very interested.
Totally. Totally.
Totally. Yes.
Yep. Yep. But yeah, with that covers a lot of the big changes. I mean, there's a lot of like just season 4 planning. We'll have
Hype.
some more on like what our plans and goals are for season 4,
Yeah,
as
we haven't even
well as
really
like,
gotten into those.
yeah,
That's what I'm
it's like
excited about.
what do we want to do besides make a Power Ranger video with Steven?
Secrets.
I'll tell you that right now. That's gonna happen some point in season
Power
4.
Rangers video.
Steven and I are making a Power Rangers video of Crusaders. Just saying. That's it. If I have to go in and edit scenes, and draw something in MS Paint and have it like just be like a really bad flipbook animation, it's going to happen. It is going to happen.
Someone sent us a Power Rangers video. Who was it?
I have to go. I archived that email, but
Was
I
it
did
email?
get.
Was it an email?
Yeah, it was an email. It was an email of Jh's old video that he put together.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, I think
Let's
if
do some emails.
is there anything else that you'd like to cover before we get into community feedback?
I don't think so. I thought we had some good discussions today.
Yeah.
Let's
All
do
right,
it.
then let's do it. Let's hit it up.
I'll take the first one.
Okay. I'm okay with that. I am 100% okay with that.
Well, I'll do it then, just for you. So this email, our first email, it comes from Lala. So as most people know who Lala is, she writes in frequently, and she was on one of the start of the season streams and everything. So we all know and love Lala. So Lala writes in, and her topic is stash space. Yeah, stash space. I can't say that. And so what she's kind of talking about in here is 2.3. A lot of people thought that 2.3 would sort of help the stash space problem, by allowing you to extract the legendary powers in the Kanai's cube, so you can get rid of some of your legendaries or some of your items. But what Lala is saying is that she is finding the opposite problem, and she's finding it that she's saving these items, and what's happening is she's saving them, until she can extract them, or maybe she's saving them that just in case for like the puzzle rings, or the bovine bardic, is that how you say that? um, the like things like that, where that have uses in the cube that you don't necessarily want to use at that moment, or that you don't necessarily have the resources for. And so she's finding that she has less stash space with this. And I feel like I kind of mentioned this a few episodes ago as well, that I felt like I was worried about this, because I started playing 2.3 and I found that I was saving everything, because I wanted to extract the powers of every single legendary, and especially as a completionist, and I know Lala is a completionist as well, is that you're not going to want to get rid of things until you're able to put them into your library of extracted powers, because you have like that museum type of look in your cube, where you can just kind of scroll through the items that you've extracted and the items that you still haven't. And that's going to be a big problem for me, because yeah,
you want to fill out all those grayed
absolutely
out yeah,
at least in my non-season. so um so yeah, she brings up a topic that I agree with, and that I feel like I would have trouble with until at least I start getting enough resources to where I can extract all these. um I don't know, like I don't know if it's going to be an issue for everybody, or if it's just an issue for the completionists. Just an interesting thought though, and I'm interested to see how this plays out.
mm-hmm. Yeah, that will be interesting. I guess I wasn't really considering, wanting to go through and grab like a whole bunch of rares of a specific weapon, because you can go through and like reforge them into legendaries, kind of like having that targeted Kadala.
Oh yeah, the rares too.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. That's a good point.
Yeah. Well,
so I'll be saving those as well.
Mm-hmm. And yeah. Do you mind if I take the next email?
Absolutely.
All right.
Do it.
This one comes in from Alienationer, longtime listener. Hi guys, Alienationer here. It's been a long time and just wanted to drop a line. The 2.3 PTR has been out for a while and the community has been crazy about the new changes. However, I've noticed that no one's talking about the one little nugget coming with Season 4 that, in my opinion, is something that the community has been buzzing about for a while. It's the new seasonal achievement conquest called The Thrill. The verbiage of the conquest is reach Greater Rift 40 solo without the benefits of any of the following class sets. And the reason why to bring this up, because in the past people have been theorizing on how to make small seasons interesting. With ideas such as the season where players cannot use sets and are forced to use only legendaries, well, here you go. It's not the same, but I think it's a good effort of Blizzard to try and give people variety and challenge the meta. Anyways, I think Blizzard should get credit for this and not be forgotten in the pile of additions overshadowed by Kanai's Cube and the new sets.
Yep.
Yeah, that is.
So we did kind of already talk about this a little bit, but I think it's cool that they're doing something like this. Is sort of kind of like a mini season type of quest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah.
Good job, Blizzard.
Yeah, that is one of those ones. I think it was a while ago, but I think that Archon was still on the show when we talked about that, about maybe having like a mini season or doing special things in a season. Like no sets dropped, period.
Mm-hmm.
And just seeing how it played out from there. But then it was just like then the disparity between class power would really like come to focus. When you have just the class items. But it's for this one I believe that they picked something along the lines of Greater Rift 40, so it would be a challenge, but something that all classes could do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we've talked about kind of the mini seasons a few times, even like.
Mm-hmm. I think it was like the one that we specifically mentioned, like the no classes drop.
Yep. Yeah.
Or no class set, or no sets drop, I should say.
Sorry, going back to Lala's email. So they did. So Droth, Vader, and Zeratal both mentioned in Clan that you can now craft every item with the changes in the patches. So you don't need to save up rares for specific items if you don't want to. So that's good. Bingo. So next email comes from Mr. Zero Orange. Here's Zero Orange. No, he said
Orange.
Zerange. Zerange. So he's just saying, when we start out, sup fellas. So just saying, he been loving the show. So he told me I'm doing a great job for coming on the show. Thank you very much, sir. He said, great to see Leviathan doing well. Great to see him on. And he loves Leviathan's intros. And so we gotta get more of those.
Yeah, even if he's not on the show, what we should do is we should just go
make
through.
Him do it.
Yeah, just have him do an intro. We won't do it. We won't do a pre-show. Just have him go through and do the intro, and then surprise everybody with he's not here. It was a joke.
Exactly. So he also congratulated you for your new job. So it sounds like you're doing a great job at it. So congrats to Nineball.
Trying.
Mm-hmm. So he's just kind of recapping his season for us and letting us know how he did, because I believe it was an episode. I don't remember how long ago it was, but he sent in an email talking about his severe vision problems and how it can kind of be, how it can kind of conflict with his gaming. And so, but he said that he's been doing awesome this season, and he rolled a whirlwind IK barbarian and has been loving it. And he said he's just getting better and better, and just kind of like so. Last season he hit Paragon 115, and did he was excited for that. And this season he has reached Paragon 400 and cleared Greater Rift 40 solo. So, man, that's a big improvement.
Ever so slightly.
Yeah. So he said he's becoming more knowledgeable and about the game and the lore, and he's excited for season 4. He wants to play Monk and Crusader, um, and yeah, he's just excited to play him, and he's setting a new Paragon goal of 500 and Greater Rift 50 solo clear. So he's asked us to wish him luck. So that is the least we can do, sir. Um, very, very much good luck.
Yes.
I keep us updated on that because that's awesome that you're doing that in spite of your hurdles that you have to get around. So
Mm-hmm.
good on you, man. It's good showing people that if you really want to do something, you want to put your mind to something, you can do it. Um, so keep us updated on that. I'm excited to see that.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I believe that we're BattleNet friends now, so we can be
Ooh.
we'll have to game
BattleNet
together
friends.
sometimes. I think we are. I I'm friends with somebody orange. Yeah, yeah, Zero Orange. We're friends now. We're gonna have to game together sometime. So jump into raid call some night when you see me on. If I'm on Diablo, I'm probably on raid call. So
There you go. Um, but it's also like speaking of updates, we have this one from Chaos and Co. If you've listened to the last couple episodes, we have been featuring some images of Chaos going through and sending us in pictures of his super twinked out level 1 barbarian. Usually one of
this
like
guy's
the
crazy.
yeah, just like going through and like just showing some fun things that you can do with some of the cube recipes. Obviously, the best ones are about extracting legendary powers. You can go and have some fun. Let's make some super powerful level 1 characters. I
Love
want to
it.
know. This is one thing that I want to see. I want to see the level 1 duels between these characters using like full level 70 gear. Um,
Seriously. So if we get
yeah,
some one
because
more
I
person
don't.
to do this with
Yeah,
him.
I don't know if anyone saw, but on the Play Your Way stream that Droth was on, it was the last Play Your Way live stream, um, and it'll be the last episode of Play Your Way at least for a little bit while it's on hiatus until season 4 starts. So don't expect another one until at least sometime in September. Um, but uh, they ended the stream, and so they ended the whole Play Your Way with some brawling. So we got a Diablo developer to do Diablo PvP, and Droth wrecked house and
Attaboy,
was just
Droth.
basically just going through and shield bashing, one shotting people, and so now you know why people don't brawl in Diablo.
Because Droth will beat you.
Yeah, because Droth will kill you. There you go.
Yep.
That's
Even
why.
if he's not in the game, he
If
will
it's
do
not
it.
in the game, that's what it is. Um, but so yes, level 1 PvP, we're bringing it back. It is going to be here. I can't wait to see it. But last episode we asked the question of how long did it take to farm all of those gems of ease to level 25 to fully deck out your character in the level 1 gear. And so he went through and he sent us the patch, and basically he broke down the math, and it came out to be something around 20 to 32 hours ish. He spent over a week just gaming, just playing Diablo, doing nothing more than leveling up gems of ease.
Crazy man.
Yeah, it took. He did it in about what is that? About 150 greater rifts, each taking about 3 to 5 minutes on average. Though he wasn't doing like the level 35 rifts, so he was getting up to. They did for the last couple levels. He did have like the 60th percent chance to complete it, and yeah, so yeah, that was a pretty hardcore dedication there. That's almost a full like pay period for a job. That's like you could have streamed that whole thing and maybe gotten
Yeah.
a paycheck. Who knows?
Well done, sir. Or
Yeah,
madam. I don't know if it's a guy or a girl. Well done.
yeah. But I am definitely impressed. I love it. I love
I do
all of it.
too.
Yep.
I do too. So our last email comes from Ryan, and he says, "Good day, fellas. looking through the skins of Heroes of the Storm and came across this. He posted a picture, and we didn't think about bringing it in, but he said he was wondering if this would be a spoiler for expansion or Diablo 4. And
Uh,
so it's
what did
basically the Seraphim Tyrael skin.
yeah, they have the one skin um in Heroes, where it's kind of like a more angelic version of Tyrael, and it has a little bit of backstory that it says, with tired eyes, the newly appointed High Seraph Tyrael looked across Sanctuary. After the fall of the high heavens, this world was the last bastion against Imperius's wrath.
So
And
do you want me to give you my lore answer on why that's
let's go for it. Oh, and just one thing though, long shot PvP.
All right. So the real answer on why this is not a signal to Diablo 4. So they answered this in the High Heavens Ancient Books of Lore, Chapter 2. I believe it's on page 29. They talk about how Tyrael had a twin brother, which was named High Seraph Tyrael, and he became the high angel of the sanctuary elite people. And those people said that there's not going to be Diablo 4. And so that's why my mind started getting really tired. That's why.
that's why that's the end of the story. I got tired, so
Yeah.
I stop talking.
All right. Give us your thoughts, Nine More.
um,
Stop it, Fouch says.
yeah, this is one of the little things that they do in Heroes is they like just experimenting with different, like, what if the story had gone this way, what if it had done this, like they even have an angelic Diablo skin in Heroes, and it's just playing around with like alternate theories and universes where different things happened and just like doing a skin or something around it. It's not really a hint, because the Heroes team doesn't really, they get ideas and they might bounce some ideas off the other respective teams, but they're their own thing. They do their
Mhm.
own thing. They don't have to go and get approval from the Diablo development team to do any skins or development or anything like that. It's just, oh, we thought this idea was cool, so we're putting it in. So that is just complete creation of the Heroes team. Yeah.
Or it could be a signal
Or it could be a signal, and there is like the symbols of the Illuminati staring at you on the dollar bill, and
of Tyrael's twin brother.
yes, Tyrael's twin brother, High Seraph Tyrael.
I'm done for the
night. You should be. You should be. Before we get into the items of the week, there is like one last little community thing that I do kind of want to go and give a little mention to. There was a tweet that I saw on Twitter, of all places. Imagine that.
Tweet on Twitter.
Yeah, a tweet on Twitter. Who would have thought that I thought was pretty interesting? And so I had to go through and give it a little bit of love, retweet it. It was from Matthew Rossi, who is one of the editors at Blizzard Watch. There's a lot of discussion since last week, and they had the World of Warcraft expansion announcement and such. And he just wanted to like air out some of his feelings, and he said, I feel like we, the WoW community, need to take a breath and think about how we interact with the developers. They're just people. And that's something that I absolutely had to retweet, because that is so true. And that's not just like for the World of Warcraft community, that's any video game community, that the developers are human, and there's so many instances where if they did actually interact with us more, we would just cut them down. We would be like, oh, you haven't completed, Hellfire Citadel on Mythic. Oh, you're a scrub. Why are you designing this game? Oh, you didn't get to Paragon level 1000. Oh, you're not in the top 10 for the supposed class that you designed for. How is it that you are a developer? I should be the developer because obviously I know more about this game than you do, type aspect. And so they always have to have kind of like this thing where they have to separate themselves a little bit, because everyone likes to go through and just find like every nitty gritty little detail they possibly can, about like the developers to cut them down because you're not using my ideas, so you obviously bad, or I know more about you. It's just kind of like that internet mentality. But I'm sure that the devs would love to interact with the community more if we kind of accepted the fact that they're human. Sure, the thing that makes them a very good game developer might not necessarily translate into them, always being in the top 10 for their class every season, or even, getting to like Paragon 400. Maybe they play the game casually, and you can't even go through and say that, oh, well, they're like a scrub, because they're like Paragon 100, in Diablo, but how many thousands of hours have they logged on the development servers, going
Yeah.
through and testing stuff? There's all these like other little tiny things that go on behind the scenes, and it's one of those ones where it's like it's something I had to kind of throw out there because that was really relevant to some conversations we've been having the past few days, and it's just like when that popped up, I just had to mention it. It's something that I wanted to also, go through and mention on the show, and it just happened that was kind of blowing up on Twitter today, and felt good. Felt good. It's been getting a lot of love. A lot of people seem to be in agreement with that. Maybe one day there'll be hope in the future, but today is not that day.
No, it would be not I do wish that the devs felt more comfortable with interacting with the community, and there have been huge strides in it. I mean, 10 years ago we wouldn't have imagined interacting with the devs at all, but like now that it's for a while it seemed like they were becoming more public, and now it seems like they're stepping back a little bit because there's just such an out, like a I don't know what you call, like, just no matter what they say, they can't do, like, there's always someone that's upset, or someone, that disagrees or says that they're wrong, or it's just like it's got to be exhausting, like, just to always have to defend yourself and always have to um like put in, like, say, hey, just so you know, like, I am human. And that's too bad. Like, it's too bad that they have to do that. And it's
Hmm.
um I don't it yeah, I wish that us as a gaming community could be a little bit more mature. Unfortunately, because we are all behind the internet and behind computers, it's so easy to be immature about these types of things.
Hmm.
um,
And it's also like that need of having to have like all the information. It's like we,
mhm,
we need to know. So we're going to go through and just overanalyze every single little piece of information. Oh, that developer has, across all of the developers total, this class has the most played time. That's why they're doing so well.
mhm.
That type of stuff.
Yeah, it's too bad. But yeah, any of you guys listening to our show, let's be good with the devs. They they are very, very passionate about their games, like
Hmm.
100%, especially Blizzard employees and guys that are developing these Blizzard games. They are very passionate about their games.
And yeah, it's not even just Blizzard game. It's really like all developers.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah,
Yeah, I'd
absolutely.
be I'd be hard pressed to think of any developer that's not like extremely passionate about the games that they themselves are going through and creating.
Yeah, absolutely. I yeah, you're right.
Hmm.
But
Yeah. And with that serious topic, let's get on to our items of the week.
serious.
Ah,
Items of the week.
uh
Items of the week. Bum 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 bum. Items of the week.
thank you
Yeah.
for that.
Got you, man.
Yeah, for that little intro there. I will
Got you.
pull it
It's a
back.
different one every week.
Yep. So yes, items of the week. This one is sent in. We have the Immortal King's Boulder Breaker sent in by George. This monstrosity is going to weigh in at 4,662 DPS. It's been re-rolled for the 10% weapon damage. It came with 1,383 strength, increases attack speed by 7%, increases Call of the Ancients damage by 56%, and also increases maximum fury by 22. As always, the ignores durability loss, and a Ronald McDonald's for the socket. Very, very beautiful two-hander
Yes.
there.
I'd like to have this next season. Crap. Not because I'm rolling Barb.
Not because you're rolling Bard?
Nope.
No? No? Totally not?
Next.
Nope.
Oh,
Mm-mm.
crap.
Okay.
Next week. Next week.
letting secrets out.
Crap. I
This
did it.
this is actually one of my favorite items for our items of the week this week. It's not ancient, but that doesn't matter.
What?
It is a beautiful Eye of Etlich sent in by Oz,
Oh,
longtime
wait.
listener, longtime fan. And this one, it came with 18% increased holy damage, has been re-rolled for the 96% increased critical hit damage. Keep rolling. I can't wait to see it till it's 100. Increases critical hit chance by 8.5%. Has 148 physical resistance, which is like the best secondary stat that you can get, and reduces damage from ranged attacks by 34.3%. Absolutely beautiful, beautiful item.
There's nothing better than just an awesomely rolled amulet.
Mm-hmm.
Like nothing better.
Nope.
There might be better, but
You
nothing
know,
better.
the only thing in my mind that would be better is a 4,000% damage crashing rain.
There you go.
Yep.
Other than that, nothing better.
Yep. Continuing on with some beautiful Demon Hunter gear here, we have Steve went through and sent us in this Nat Slayer, which clocks in at 3,425 DPS. It's been re-rolled for 10% weapon damage. Has 968 dexterity, reduces cooldown of all skills by 9%, increases Rain of Vengeance damage by 23%. Rolled with the 12 maximum discipline, and of course a Ronald McDonald's for its socket.
Awesome.
Yep, very, very beautiful weapon.
Oh, ancient gnats. Love
Yeah, I was
forever
actually
made me.
I was watching a video recently of a new lightning damage Natalia's build that is going to be pretty viable in season 4.
That's exciting.
I'm
You
looking
gonna roll
forward
Demon
to it.
Hunter now?
I'm still gonna go Crusader, but Demon I won't be able to go through a season without leveling a Demon Hunter at least a
No,
little
no,
bit.
never can.
Yeah.
I haven't gone through one yet without rolling one.
He also sent in this Squirt's necklace. Not ancient, doesn't really matter.
What?
Increases fire skill damage by 19%, critical hit damage by 100, increases critical hit chance by 10%, the 76% extra gold for monsters, and monster XP by 175, and has been re-rolled for the socket. So it
Jeez,
rolled
Louise.
naturally near perfect.
Ugh,
But the
100%
only
and
thing,
50%.
yeah, if only the fire was 20% damage.
If only.
If
Try
only.
again.
Yep.
Almost. Did get
Almost
it.
there. Maybe next time.
Oh
Maybe next
man,
time,
that thing is
Steve.
awesome. Holy moly.
Mm-hmm.
That is beautiful.
Yep. Well, we also have some beautiful wizard items that got sent in by Zeratul. He's in the chat with us here tonight. And he wanted to like give some wizard love here for the show. And so we've got a ancient Chantoto's set. And first we're showing off the Chantoto's Force. So it's
Mm-hmm.
an ancient offhand that's rolling 485 to 574 damage. So very, very good roll for the average damage. It
Nice.
also clocks in with 922 intelligence, 838 vitality, increases critical hit chance by 9.5%. Critical hits grant 3 arcane power, and the secondary bonuses of 32% extra gold from monsters and plus 13 to arcane power on it.
That's good looking.
And very, very beautiful offhand. And then we have the ancient wand, which rolled 2,950 DPS. 10% it came with 10% weapon damage, 873 intelligence, chance to deal area damage by 16%. Monster kills grant 227 experience and a 1.6% chance to chill enemies on hit. And it rolled with the socket. So, that socket's going to get re-rolled into something else so we can throw a Ronald McDonald's on there.
Yep. He just said in clam chat that he found those within 30 minutes of each other.
Oh my gosh.
That's some RNG right there.
That is some RNG indeed.
Well done, Zeratol.
Indeed.
Zeratol.
Yeah, or I'm sorry, that already has the Ronald McDonald's on there. He just hasn't re-rolled anything on the item yet.
Hmm.
Yep.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done, sir.
Wow.
What else we got?
That's it. That is it.
That's a good number of items of the week. I like that number.
Yeah. Hold on 1 second here. Switch back. So yeah, that will bring us to the end. Unless there's anything else that you'd like to go through and head on.
I don't think so. I'm excited for next week. I think next week will probably be our, not to spoil it, but maybe our little season 4 talk.
Yeah,
kind of has to be, doesn't it?
I mean, like, no,
spoilers.
We're going to be talking about season 4 a lot from this point forward.
Okay. There's not going to be much season 3 left.
Yep. So, yeah.
No, I don't think I have anything to talk about. We touched a good amount of topics today.
Yeah. I guess on our way out here, just want to give a little shout out to Oz, who, in addition to going through and sending us in, the beautiful item that we featured here on the stream, also gave us a 5-star review on iTunes. So definitely want to say thank you. I know you've been a long time fan of the show, played quite a number of games with you. So it's really nice, and thank you a lot. It really does mean a lot when you go and give us those 5-star reviews. If you listen to us on iTunes, it does mean a lot. If you want to go through, just drop a review and 5 stars on there. It does help us out a lot getting the show out to more people. So thank you very, very much for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep. And then also, if you want to write in, you want to get a hold of us, you can find us on Twitter at the WM Workshop, and we always want to hear from your feedback and see your items. So email them into us at the Westmarch Workshop at blizzpro.com is our email address for sending in stuff. You can also hit us up on Twitter if you want to just tag a screenshot or something along those lines. Every Wednesday night, we're here live on twitch.tv/BlizzPro at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. 9. While you're here, you can also go through, subscribe, check out the other shows that we do. Our Hearthstone podcast, Well Met, on Sundays, the Extra Life Power Hour on Mondays. Though, spoilers, Twizcast is coming back for any longtime viewers of the BlizzPro channel. You know what Twizcast is. It's coming back at the end of August. So look forward to some very interesting Monday nights in the future. And then on Tuesday nights, we have our Heroes Power Hour, where you can go through, catch Twiz, Eldorian, DJ Tyrant, Balrog Fan, and sometimes even myself as we discuss and play some heroes every week. So go through, check that out, take a look at it. It's going to be pretty interesting. You can find us in game. We are the Blizz Pro clan, so if you want to join us and go and grab some rifts together, send in your request. We do appreciate if you give us an email at westmarchworkshop@blizzpro.com beforehand, so that way we know the people that are interested. We only ever have a few slots available to get people into the clan.
And actually, I want to jump in there real fast. Sure. Now is actually a really good time to apply for it because of the lull that kind of came with the end of 2.3. We do have more slots open now because there have been more inactive people, and so I've been unfortunately kicking more people. And if you guys are listening to the show and you haven't logged in for a while and you're on the Blizz Pro, just log in really fast and log out, just so I know you're still active. Or if you're gone for a little bit, shoot me a message and I'll leave you on there. But yeah, we do have some open slots, so shoot us a message. And we're on the PTR clan, PTR as well, the clan. So just look up Blizz Pro on there, and I'm actually on the PTR right now. So if you guys are listening live, you can shoot a request right now and play with some people if you want to. So anyway,
I am interrupting our outro just to say this, Droth, do it. Do it. Follow your
do it.
dreams. What are you waiting for? Just do it. Anyways, back on topic. If you don't
play hardcore,
if you don't want to leave your current clan, you can find us in the Westmarch workshop community, so you can still chat with us without having to go through and switch clans. And then you can also go and chat and interact with us individually on Twitter. You can find me at 9ballgamer and my co-host here at LTLunatic22. If you want to go through, send us tweets, follow us, listen to me talk about Star Wars and Warhammer. Yeah. And with that, Star Wars. With that, I think that about wraps it up. Any last minute thoughts?
I don't know why, but I thought you were asking the clam chat.
Okay.
But
yeah,
wait, I'm
talking
the
directly
co-host.
to them.
I need to. I am the co-host. I have to answer that question.
Yep, that is in fact a question for you, good sir.
I got nothing, man. I'm excited for season 4. Excited for some theory crafting. Let's do it.
Yeah, let's do it. But with that, we'll have to do it another night because tonight we're done.
See ya.
Bye. I hate Jar Jar.